Okay, let's try and unpack this. It's just a truly heartbreaking event. Really resonated across the football world and well beyond this past week.
It really did, yeah. So in this deep dive, we're looking at the tragic passing of the Portuguese footballer Diogo Jota and his brother André Silva.
Mm-hmm.
Our sources here, news reports from rts.ch and the Portal Catholic Suisse, they really paint quite a vivid picture of the tributes and the farewells.
Yeah, and our mission really in this deep dive is to try and understand the profound impact of this tragedy, how the communities rallied.
Exactly, and what this huge collective showing of grief might tell us.
So the tragic news itself first, it hit so hard. Diogo Jota, the Liverpool attacker, and his brother André Silva, they passed away this week.
Yeah, our sources confirmed it was a car accident in Spain. Just awful. A real shock, like you said, felt globally.
Absolutely.
And what's really compelling, I think, is the immediate reaction, this huge outpouring of emotion.
Right.
The funerals, they just happened July 5th, 2025, back in Gondomar, Portugal. That was the brothers' hometown.
It's their hometown, yeah.
And the Mass itself, presided over by Monsignor Manuel Linda, he's the Bishop of Porto.
Great.
Held at the Igreja de São Cosme e São Damião. It's this historic 18th century Baroque church granite. Quite something.
Wow. And it wasn't just a local thing, was it? It felt like it became this focal point for grief everywhere.
That's it. And that scale, that's what really stands out, beyond just the initial news.
The sheer scale of the tribute.
Exactly. Thousands of people. You have family, of course, but also just, anonymous fans. And all these big figures from football.
All gathered there, inside and outside this parish church in Gondomar.
Yeah, inside and all around it. Packed. It really makes you ask, what is it about these figures that sparks such a huge communal response?
That's the core question, isn't it?
I think so. If you connect it to the bigger picture, it really highlights that kind of unique, almost parasocial bond people form with athletes,
Mm-hmm. Like they're more than just players.
Right. They become symbols of maybe aspiration or community pride, or sometimes even like an extension of ourselves. So this reaction, it wasn't just a famous person died. It felt, I think, much more personal for millions.
And you saw that with who turned up.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The entire Liverpool FC team was there.
Wow.
Led by their captain, Virgil van Dijk. And then players from the Portugal national team, too, like Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, Danilo Pereira, João Félix.
So his teammates and his national colleagues.
And even the Spanish coach, Roberto Martínez.
Yeah.
Their presence, okay, that shows professional respect, but the sheer number of ordinary people outside, that spoke to something deeper, I think.
And it must have really hit home for the local community, too, that connection.
Oh, absolutely. And this is fascinating. Diogo Jota, he actually started his whole football journey right there at Gondomar FC.
No way. How old was he?
Just 9 years old, apparently.
Wow.
And players from that club, his first club, they were among the ones who carried the caskets.
That's incredibly poignant.
Isn't it? To the cemetery right next to the church. And thousands of supporters just walking with them, accompanying the procession from a distance.
That link from those really humble beginnings right up to international stardom,
Mm-hmm.
It makes the grief feel so intensely personal, kind of bridges the local roots and the global fame.
Perfectly put. And that mix, global stars mourning right alongside the local people who knew him as a kid. That's where you see the unique power of sport, maybe.
How so?
Well, it can create this kind of collective catharsis. It brings together incredibly diverse groups through this shared emotion.
Yeah.
Which leads to a question, maybe for you, the listener. What does this kind of powerful collective mourning actually tell us about that unique bond between athletes, their teams, the communities they represent?
How do they become more than just athletes? How do they get woven into our lives so deeply?
Exactly.
It really was a truly poignant demonstration of grief, but also solidarity.
Yeah. This huge collective farewell for Diogo Jota and his brother, it does remind us how individuals, especially ones who inspire us through what they do, they can become so much more than just their job title.
Their impact transcends the pitch.
It does. And it makes you think how their lives and even, sadly, their passing can actually unite people. It's like a powerful testament to, well, shared humanity, I suppose, and the lasting impact people have, whether we know them personally or just admire them from afar.